We'll begin when Chloe tells us we can. Just let me know. Anytime. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Councillor-elect. We have a very short agenda this morning, which is perhaps fortunate, given that we're having some technical difficulties right across the building as far as internet and so on are concerned. Although we are able to stream the meeting this morning, I understand. Is that correct? Yeah. So that's a good thing. And I'm going to begin the council meeting, as I always do, after we do the swearing in of the new councillor, so that the new councillor can join us at the table and be part of the discussions this morning. So I'm going to call upon the clerk of the municipality, Yanni Postema, and ask her if she would begin the proceedings for the swearing in of the new councillor.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, Council, and good morning, Councillor-elect Davison. We're here this morning to swear in the new councillor for District 8. I'd like to start by mentioning, and this is per Section 129 of the Municipal Elections Act, that the time for applying for a recount expired on July the 4th. And with that, I can declare elected the candidate having the largest number of votes of the 3 candidates who ran in the special election. And this is for a term ending in October 2024, as I'm sure you all know, when the next regular municipal election will be held. The Municipal Action Act, Section 147, subsection 1, states that a councillor shall, before entering upon the duties of his office, be sworn by taking the oath of allegiance and of office. And I would like to invite the councillor-elect to read the oath of allegiance and of office.
I, Kevin Davison, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified, as required by law, for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of the County of Kings, and that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected to the best of my knowledge and ability, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties of my office.
Thank you. And if you would now like to sign the oath, please. And next, I would like to ask the councillor-elect to sign the oath book. You have all seen this book from very up close, so when you signed it in 2020. It's a rather unremarkable looking notebook, but it holds a lot of history. It goes back to 1880, so it's been signed by councillors for more than 140 years. And I would like to ask the councillor-elect to sign this oath book. Thank you very much. You're part of the history of the municipality of the County of Kings now. And finally, I would like to ask you to sign the Code of Conduct for elected municipal elections. Elected municipal officials. Actually, I noticed that you already signed that, so that's fine. That was actually the oath for you to sign. Thank you very much. And with that, the formal proceedings are completed. So congratulations, Councillor Davison. And And you may now take your seat at the horseshoe.
Well, a welcome to our new councillor and to the new councillor's family for being here in support. You can stay and watch him perform for the balance of the session, or you can feel free to leave at any time you wish. Normally council meetings run on about 3 hours. This council meeting will be perhaps an hour at the outside. So those items being attended to, we'll now proceed with the formal portion of the meeting. I'll call the special council meeting of Tuesday, July the 11th to order. And we begin each meeting with roll call. If you enter roll call now, as soon as you are able. For the information of the public, whenever a roll call is called or a vote on an item, it takes, I'll be with you in a second, Madam Clerk, it takes about 10 seconds for an appearance on the screens to happen. But the clerk reminded me before we met, we've had a computer glitch today. And part of that computer glitch is we're not able to record electronic votes. So I'm looking around the table, and I can confirm Councillor Granger is here. Councillor Meisner is not. I'm sorry, Councillor Meisner is now in the building. Councillor Killam is here. Councillor Armstrong is here. Councillor Harding, Councillor Hurdle, Deputy Mayor, and our new councillor, Councillor Davison, and myself. That constitutes the entire council. Oh, Councillor Allen is here, is absent with excuse, is he? Okay. So one absence, Councillor Allen. Moving on to, if Councillor Allen has given excuse, not to the clerk? No? Anybody else received Councillor Allen's excuses?
Yes. Not yes.
And the reason is he's away?
He's in BC.
He's in British Columbia to a family event that he could not avoid, so I'm looking for a motion to excuse his attendance. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Harding. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. Councillor Davison, you were voting in favor? Yes? Thank you. So that's the way we'll be voting today, which is a little unusual for us. Looking now for the agenda has been circulated. As I said, it's a short agenda. If you don't see any errors or omissions on the agenda, I'm looking for a motion to approve. Please, moved by Councillor Armstrong, seconded by Councillor Meisner. Any discussion on the motion to approve the agenda? Deputy Mayor Lutz.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to note I will be leaving around 9:45. So just, I'm not sure how far we're going to get, maybe all the way, but I just, in case we're not at the end, I just wanted to note.
Thank you.
Be leaving early. Thank you.
So for those that didn't hear, the Deputy Mayor will have to leave the meeting around 9:45. It's quite possible we'll be finished by then in any event. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please raise your hand. That's unanimously approved. Thank you. Now, the process is, again, for the benefit of the public and those online, the process is that once an agenda has been approved, then all of us at the table are aware of the items that are going to be discussed today, and if any item amongst those on the agenda presents a conflict of interest for any councillor because they have a personal interest or a family member has a financial interest, or they're an employee or an owner of a business that's impacted and so on, then this would be their opportunity to declare their conflict with regard to that particular item. It doesn't conflict them out of the entire meeting. So I look to councillors to tell me whether they have a conflict of interest to disclose on any item. Seeing none, we'll move to administration, item 5, which is going to be handled this morning by the CAO from the center podium. Mr. CAO, when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, Council. So the agenda item relates to what's referred to in your package as a release of the total rewards report that was prepared by the Stratford Group. So as you will recall, Council has previously dealt with this, I believe, at 3 separate occasions, and it involved 2 things, 2 principal things. One is a mid-contract adjustment to our collective agreement, and also deals with a non-union employee benefit policy that says every 4 years that we need an independent review of remuneration. So we contracted a firm by the name of Stratford, and they did conduct that review, and there were adjustments made to both the union and non-union work components of the workforce. So as you're aware, or you may be aware, that if there's contract nature to a topic that Council deals with, they're well within their right to deal with that in private session, which Council has over the past 3 meetings. The reason why it was in private session is it mattered or dealt with a contract-related matter. So we required agreement with our union, the Canadian Union of Public Employees, CUPE, which we have achieved. So in private session, Council can instruct the CAO to do things and report back. So that's why I'm here today. We followed your instruction, reporting back that we executed a memorandum of agreement with the union, and we've instituted adjustments to both unionized and non-unionized workforce. So in our briefing notes, we also noted that we had an estimated budget allowance in the 23-24 budget year of $250,000. You will notice that the actual cost of these adjustments come in at $250,300. So there's 2 things here that we're looking for this morning. One is for Municipal Council to release the total rewards review April 2023 as it's titled. There's a small redacted portion of that, but it would be attached to this meeting's agenda, and then that document is publicly available. It's no longer in the private domain. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is for your motion to capture the fact that we're $250,300, not $250,000. So I don't know, with our technology, would you like me to read the motion? Would that be preferable? So the motion that's in your request for decision reports reads that Municipal Council receive the total rewards review April 2023 prepared by the Stratford Group as redacted, and approve the total disbursement of $250,300. Happy to take any questions you may have, clarification.
Questions of clarification. Firstly, this is a matter that has already been determined by Council. The issue before us today, once a matter is determined on an in-camera basis, that normally it's made public, and so we're bringing that item to the public forum today. And secondly, there is a $300 addition that needs to be made to the package. So with that preamble, does anybody have a question of clarification of the CAO? No questions? Then, Mr. CAO, would you mind? I think you told me I have the motion.
I can certainly read again, Mr. Mayor, if you'd like.
I don't seem to have it, if you wouldn't mind reading it.
Certainly. that municipal council receive the, quote, "Total Rewards Review April 2023," end quote, prepared by the Stratford Group as redacted, and approve the total disbursement of $250,300.
Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Meisner. Is there discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimously approved. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. CAO. Moving on to item 6, which is a report from the Nominating Committee. Councillor Armstrong is the chair of that committee, so I'm going to Councillor Armstrong for her report and recommendations. Councillor Armstrong?
Does he have a copy of it? I wasn't able to print it, and I can't access mine. Okay, thank you. Are we reading these individually, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I think we should.
Okay. That municipal council appoint Councillor Davison to the Planning Advisory Committee for a term ending November 30, 2023, replacing Deputy Mayor Lutz. I so move.
Seconded by Councillor Killam. By way of explanation, when the councillor for District 8 resigned, he left several vacancies on committees that he occupied at the time of his resignation. Those vacancies had to be filled on an interim basis pending the replacement of the councillor. The by-election has been held. Councillor Davison is now in the seat, and these are some of the duties that Councillor Windsor had previously had and Councillor Davison is now assuming. We spared Councillor Davison the onus of having to chair meetings that he hadn't even sat on yet, but other than that, that's what these include. So on the first motion that's been moved and seconded, is there any debate? All those in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. Councillor
That
Davison.
municipal council appoint Councillor Davison to the Numinus Source Water Protection Committee with Deputy Mayor Lutz as a alternate for a term ending November 30, 2023. I so move.
Seconded by Councillor Granger. Discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. Thank you. Let the record note that Councillor Davison is not voting since it applies to him and he would have an interest. We're happy to hear from him if he has any objection to any of these committees. Please carry on.
That municipal council appoint Councillor Davison to the Kings Regional Rehabilitation Center Board for a term ending November 30, 2023, replacing Councillor Allen. I so move.
Seconded by Councillor Hurtle. Any discussion? No debate. All those in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. Thank you.
That municipal council appoint Councillor Davison to the Regional Sewer Committee as an alternate for a term ending November 30th, 2023, replacing Mayor Matart.
Seconded by Councillor Meisner. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you.
That municipal council appoint Councillor Davison to the Budget and Finance Committee for a term ending November 30, 2023, replacing Councillor Armstrong. I so move.
A seconder for the motion, the Deputy Mayor. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That is unanimously passed as well. Congratulations to Councillor Davison on assuming a number of large tasks this morning. And I'm sure he looks forward to receiving the agenda for all of these meetings that he must attend. Moving on to item 7. Is that all you had, Councillor Armstrong? Yes.
Oh, just a reminder that Planning Advisory Committee will be sitting this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Did you hear that, Councillor Davis? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Is there any other business then to come before this meeting, before the deputy mayor leaves? I see no other business come before the meeting. Are there any comments from the public before we adjourn? If you had any comments, if you wanted to object to the new councillor being installed, you could step to the mic. You're good? Okay. Then I'm looking for a motion to adjourn, please. Moved by the deputy mayor, seconded by Councillor Meisner. There's no debate on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor? That's unanimous, including the public. We stand adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.